In today's news, Premier Fahie explains further his decision to review public servants' salaries, as well as tourism establishments continue to take a battering.
In addition to that, we see the opposition leader calling on the BVI to put down the guns. And in Jamaica, 219 new cases recorded, as well as 5 deaths within the last 24 hours. Troubling reports coming out of Jamaica. All that and so much more when 284 News returns.
Hey, Johnson. What's up? Well, you look like you're about to pass out.
I think I am. But anyhow.
Chuck, what are you doing?
Remember last year when I spoke to you over the phone? When I said, well. Anyhow, ever since that moment, I was wanting to take this step further with you.
OMG, Johnson!
I want to know if you, VIA, would officially have me as your sales rep with a friend.
What?
To get live with our February promotions.
Huh?
Get live, get love, and get gifted. Bring a friend to CCT to sign up for a freedom plan. Take a picture with them in the store and post to social media with the hashtag GetLiveCCT. Then put your receipt with your number in the golden basket and wait on a call from Jante. First place gets $500 each. Second place, matching Samsung Galaxy A30s. And third place, $150 shopping vouchers each to One-Mart.
So are you really saying?
Really? And I could bring a friend too?
More the merrier.
Viewers, welcome to 284 News. It is Friday, February 12th, 2021. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes. We are coming to you live straight out of the British Virgin Islands, of course, to bring you your local, regional, and international content.
Absolutely. Beginning with an interesting post coming out of Antigua and Barbuda. The Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Mr. Gaston Browne, has now issued a new warning seemingly to carnival goers. He said via his Facebook, no vaccine, no carnival. Now, viewers, the post was made again via his Facebook page just a few days ago. Inspiring quite a conversation. And, you know, while many persons are seemingly happy about this option to partake in Carnival, others have duly questioned whether it was irresponsible for the Prime Minister to mandate vaccination, which remains a voluntary decision, just so that we can essentially wind down for Carnival. Kyla, I'm starting to believe that certain officials are, in my opinion, using this vaccine as blackmail into persons taking the vaccine. Because when you think about the level of catastrophe coronavirus has caused and the mere status of what it is, the fact that it is an invisible enemy, we are nowhere close to returning to a level of normalcy as much as we want to. So it really makes me wonder why certain politicians are playing on the emotions of people and then still, singing to the tune that it's a voluntary situation.
Of course, I do understand both sides of the coin. I think the fact that it was on Mr. Gaston's Facebook and not necessarily an official government statement, I think it's really and truly, if I could say so myself, maybe just saying, hey, if we want to get back to any sense of normalcy, this is the only option that we may have. Some may say that it's irresponsible. Some may say it's a play on words, but I do think we cannot decrease what coronavirus really is, and really and truly a play on words might not be the best thing to do, not in these times. It's way too serious to play.
And I believe way too soon. We even saw Governor Bryant in the USVI taking this very same approach just a few months ago. And again, coming back to the fact that I don't believe they're taking it as seriously as they need to. Why not educate the public on the benefits of taking the vaccination?
Of course.
And maybe on the other side of the spectrum, what are some of the side effects, especially for persons who may have hesitations. But I don't necessarily think using things that we are culturally accustomed to
as a bargaining chip.
It's almost like you're beguiling the people, and I don't necessarily appreciate that. In Jamaica, very tragic news as well, recording 219 new cases of COVID-19 and 5 deaths in just 24 hours. Now, this pushes the island's toll to 368 deaths, the total confirmed cases since the outbreak to 18,527 cases. Now, the country has also recorded 48 recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 12,504. While the recovery cases, the number are very high, we want to continue to send our thoughts and prayers to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica, because to record such a high number within a 24-hour period and to continue to see people losing their lives to this virus, I just think it's a very unfortunate situation.
Very much so.
All right, viewers, we're going to head straight into our newscast for today. In the last quarter of 2020, the British Virgin Islands recorded 3 murders. On September 2nd, George Shawala Burrows was shot in his home. On September 10th, Mr. Matthew Daly was murdered. And then finally, we lost Mr. Everton McMaster. That was on November 6th. Now, viewers, just 6 weeks into this new year, which of course is 2021, the territory has already recorded 3 unfortunate deaths. Mr. Rodney Simmons, Mr. Earl Bob Hodge, and Andrew Scarrett's death has sent shockwaves throughout the territory. As a result, the wider community is now calling for an end to gun crime and, of course, encouraging unity. One such person is the leader of the opposition, Honorable Marlon A. Penn, who is making a compassionate plea to the community to simply put down the guns. Listen in.
Fellow Virgin Islanders, over the past several weeks and months, our beloved territory has been shaken by heinous murders, violent robberies, and major crimes. I know that all of you share my extreme concern and pain at the spat of criminality that has befallen our territory. To the loved ones and families of the victims of these horrific crimes, I express my deepest sympathies. I know that there are no words that can adequately describe the sting of death, nor are there words and sentiments that could reduce the pain that you feel. But please know that as a community, we hold you up with love, support, and prayers. Criminality is not who we are as a people, and it need not be who we've become. To the perpetrators of crimes among us and their enablers, discard your intentions of criminality, lay down your guns, and follow the path of uprightness. I call upon each and every Virgin Islander to understand that it is our moral and civic duty to neither condone nor support criminality, nor to obstruct the process of justice. Please support our law enforcement in ensuring that justice will prevail. Fellow Virgin Islanders, we must reject the spirit of criminality. We must respect the rule of law. We must uphold our strong values and virtues, and we must recapture and rekindle our love for each other. Brothers and sisters, I implore each of you, let us enter an unending season of healing, peace, togetherness, and love. Although the tyranny of criminality surrounds us, in these moments, in these prayerful special instances, let us never forget that a greater spirit of purpose and love is innate within us. Let us always remember that we are resilient, strong, community-minded, God-fearing, and loving people. Let us ensure that our every word, thought, or deed is a true reflection of who we are. A great poet once said, "I know that there is light within our heart, and we will find our way home." So let us petition God to impart His wondrous love and His mighty healing on our beloved Virgin Islands, so that we could find our way home, back to who we are as a community-minded, loving, and God-fearing people. May God continue to bless us all and bless these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Kyla, I'm very happy to see officials taking a very public stance as it relates to speaking out against gun crime. I think as a territory, we're going through enough. You know, when we think about the economic fallout from COVID-19, and I mean, this is not an isolated case with the BVI. Yes, the entire world is suffering. But as a result of what's happening, we have seen lost jobs. We have seen the economy taking a really harsh hit. In addition to that, there is a commission of inquiry in place that may very well further divide the territory. So I think it's critical, and especially when we reflect on events like Irma and Maria and how devastating those events can be and the need for us to come together. I do believe it's time for us to express some level of empathy, put ourselves in other person's positions, and especially now that the leader of the opposition is speaking out, I would also implore him to, and of course the government of the Virgin Islands, to come together, because unity is the only way forward for this territory.
I do agree. I think it's just, as we see these three unfortunate deaths, really and truly, it was a hit after a hit for our territory, really shattering the fabric that we know as the BVI. And I think it's really disheartening, and really pleading out to the persons out there, you know, put your differences aside. I think we, as you said, we're going through so much, and it's really a bigger picture as we are trying to save our British Virgin Islands from COVID-19, the Commission of Inquiry, and we definitely don't need to add yet another devastation to what we are dealing with currently. Absolutely. Now, as we move on, now the conversation surrounding salary reviews within the public service surfaced once again. Now, during a live press conference which was held yesterday, the Premier of the Virgin Islands, Honorable Andrew A. Floyd, was asked about the timing of the salary review. Now, a local reporter questioned Premier Floyd, in which, in the light of his announcement of the salary review, is he insinuating that the pandemic will be over in 6 months to a year? Now, we knew that during the announcement from Premier Floyd, he said that he is doing this salary review in the light that he thinks that the coronavirus would either be over or under control after 6 months to a year. So here is Premier Floyd's explanation.
The review of the salaries, which, you know, will both span the governor's portfolio, the public service, and the Minister of Finance, and us having to carry the monies to the House. It takes a long time before that is done. It takes close to 6 months to a year. So better you get that study done within that time, and look ahead optimistically that within a year's time, even if it is not over, we should have enough units overall from the UK and whether it's COVAX and everything, so that the majority, if not all, of the population has been vaccinated, which is crucial for economy, so that it would help us to open up even more, to get what we'll call, I don't call it the new normal, but the new regular, because the truth be told, things will never go back to the same again pre-COVID-19. But at the same time, too, you have to plan ahead, and you have to be ambitious with your plan, but realistic. So we're planning ahead, and we're looking for better days to come. I don't think, Zan, that no one that leads, that is worth their salt, can look at the future and say it's dim. Because your job is to make sure that you bring hope to the people by planning and looking ahead. So that's all.
Now, viewers, if that wasn't enough, the reporter took it a step further and asked the Premier Floyd if he reconsidered his decision in light of the recent economic ramifications, not just in the BVI, but the rest of the world. Here is Premier Floyd's response.
Let's explain it to you. In life, I'd never believe in living a woulda, shoulda, coulda, and what happened if we had. So with it now, you always plan ahead. And if the time comes and the information that comes in that says that the salary review will be X amount of dollars, and we don't have it. At least we have the research to tell us, well, if you can't do it this year, then we can do it next year. But to wait until we get out of the national and worldwide crisis of COVID-19 to start to plan, whether it's the expansion of the airport or your ports or the revision of public service salaries or some other project, you cannot wait until you get out of this dilemma. You have to plan, pray, and walk your way out. And some of the information now will be there for when you see a better day that I can implement it because I have it at my disposal. So you just have to continue to be proactive and continue to move with faith. And that's the way I always live my life, and that's the way we're going to lead. It's going to take a while. Public officers deserve to be paid what they're worth. And I know everyone on this table would say it, especially our CMO here, that they need to be paid what they're worth. And we do have an issue with that, no fault of anyone else. So now it's time to review it. Not saying that we're going to expand the recurrent budget by employing more persons, but if we can pay persons more, I'm certain that we'll be able to even get more production out of them because they'll feel like they're worth. And they went to school, they rack up a lot of bills with school, whether it's be their associates, their bachelor's, technical degrees, doctorate, master's. It costs a lot. So to come back home and do not get a comparable salary in ratio-wise to help you to start to be able to build by the time you're 35, 40, rather than renting while you're 50, 60 still, we have to be able now to make the economies of scale more balanced. So while we're down, the best time to plan is while you're down. You can't go any further from being down.
Now, Javon, earlier this week, we discussed the salary review of public servants after that announcement came about. And really and truly, these are questions, this question that the reporter posed, this is valid questions that the people of the Virgin Islands truly have. Why in the midst of COVID-19, with all the economic ramifications, why now? But Honorable Foy is sticking to his guns. This is his explanation, and he is basically saying that we are doing the research now, so when we do get better, and he is saying that in faith, that he will be able to deliver this, and basically saying that public servants need to be able to earn what they deserve. So,
and we are not knocking that. We are never knocking that. He's right. Public servants are oftentimes very much underpaid. But in light of what's happening, you have to take inventory of the climate that we're living in. And I'm coming back to the fact I do think it's a bit insensitive to the people who are truly suffering, whose salaries were not stable during this the past year, persons who lost their jobs, persons who were working on reduced salaries, persons who to date have not been rehired because that temporary termination deadline has been extended again. So really working out for companies. But what about our employees?
Right.
What about the people who uphold the tourism and the hospitality industries and all the other industries who are affected by coronavirus? So my advice to the public is to start a new hashtag, and that is hashtag raise the minimum wage. I think that is going to affect the territory positively. But for now, Kyla, we have to head to a quick commercial break. When we come back, there's lots of news happening. First of all, we have Justice Floyd being added to the BVI courts, and trust me, a lot more. So stick with us. You're watching 284 News.
I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that fire like a rocket. Say the word, you know I'm ready to go. I don't just talk that talk, I'm talking. Yeah, I walk that walk, I'm walking. Yeah, I'm on it, but you already know. Tell your father, your mother, your sister, and your brother. Go and tell everyone you know. Get your uncle, your neighbor, your auntie, that's your favorite. Cause we know that this was gonna...
Viewers, welcome back. Now, Javon, before the break, we were talking about the economic ramifications and the economic climate right here in the British Virgin Islands. But I think this next story really speaks to that. Now, as the tourism sector in the Virgin Islands continues to take a beating as the border of the territory are still partially closed. Now, many establishments are making the decision to close their doors until a brighter day. Now, within the last 24 hours, reports reaching our newsroom confirms that 2 popular restaurants in the territory are closing until further notice. Now, Banana Keat Restaurant, via a Facebook post, issued a statement. It said, and I quote, Banana Keat Restaurant, BVI, closing on the 20th of February 2021 due to the pandemic. Thank all our customers that have continued to support our efforts to remain open. We'll open Friday and Saturdays until that time. We'll resume when borders reopened, end quote. Now, this is a very popular restaurant right here in Tortola.
One of my favorites.
Yes, one of my favorites indeed. But if we span across to Virgin Gorda, the well-known restaurant Top of the Bats have also issued a statement to inform their customers of their closure. The statement said, and I quote, "It is with a very heavy heart and tremendous concern for each and everyone that we regrettably have to make the following decision, a decision which comes out of the factual reality of COVID-19 resulting in negative market for our tourism industry," end quote. Now, the management of Top of the Bats continues to explain their decision in this statement. They said, and I quote, "The negative result has manifested itself in a manner which makes it financially impossible for us to continue to be open at this time. Therefore, we are giving notice that Top of the Bats restaurant and coffee bar will be temporarily closed until such time as the economical conditions return to a point where the business can meet its daily obligations. We truly hope that this period of business interruption will be short-lived." Now, viewers, you may remember in January where Quito's Gazebo made a similar announcement. They announced the closure of their restaurant due to COVID-19, and that statement via Facebook, which was posted back in January, said, "It is with great sadness that we share our difficult decision to close Quito's Limited on January 31st, 2021 for the season." So, really and truly, Javon, yes, it's very sad to see these restaurants close, but essentially the closure of these businesses means no jobs for many persons. No jobs, no salary, no livelihood. And these are just the ones reaching our newsroom. God knows what the tourism sector and industry really looks like to date. And I think we really need to take it seriously. Our leaders need to take it seriously and really look at the climate of what is really happening in the BVI.
I absolutely agree with everything that you just said. And you're right. There are so many businesses, not just our restaurants, but other businesses who, and we do know that the small businesses really support the economy as well, still taking a hit. Even though we reopened borders on December 1st, there is only but so many visitors that are coming to the territory under the current quarantine protocols and restrictions that we have. So we have to take into consideration.
But also looking at only the airport being open, or what I would say where mainly most of our tourists come from, cruise ships as well as the seaports.
Remain closed.
Yeah, remain closed. So really and truly,
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And especially now that we're also hearing that the seaports may not be reopened on March 1st. Now that is circulating across the territory. Our government officials have not yet commented on questions posed regarding that, but a very daunting situation. And again, we cannot continue to be insensitive to the needs of these people.
Agreed.
Yes, the financial sector has been very resilient in this time, as it usually is, but we have to take stock of the tourism industry and the persons who make up that industry, which is a vast majority, Kyla. And so viewers, we'll continue to keep you updated on this, but this is the reality that we're dealing with as a result of COVID-19, not only here in the BVI, but across the region as well. Now, as we move on, seasoned judge, attorney, and legal instructor, His Lordship, the Honorable Justice Richard Floyd, has joined the Virgin Islands bench as head of the criminal division. Now, Justice Floyd began adjudicating matters in the territory this week after his appointment to the Virgin Islands by the Judicial and Legal Service Commission back in December. Now, originally from Cuba, Justice Floyd has Caribbean roots and oversaw the development of Antigua's first dedicated criminal court while serving there as a criminal division judge. Justice Floyd previously worked as Crown Counsel in Canada, a prosecutor in Australia, and also taught at Queen's University Law School in Canada. In 2016, he was recognized as an international fellow with the National Association of Attorney Generals in Washington, D.C. Now, Governor Rankin, John Rankin, of course, CMG, said that he welcomed the arrival of an internationally experienced justice to the territory. Governor Rankin said, and I quote, "I know that like other courts in the region, the Virgin Islands courts are taxed with a heavy load and other challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. I trust that Justice Floyd's wealth of experience would help to guide the territory forward through this period," Governor Rankin said. Now, viewers, Justice Floyd was educated at the University of Ottawa, New York, York University, and attended Harvard University in the United States of America. He has been active in his local communities, having served as the board of directors for hospice in both Canada as well as Antigua, as a board member for the Addictions and Community Mental Health Organizations, and as a longtime member of the Ontario Soccer Association. Kyla, of course, we are so extremely happy to welcome Justice Floyd to our shores, and of course, looking forward to him lending his expertise. Like the governor said, he brings a wealth of experience. And as we examine his previous posts, his previous tenures, as well as his qualifications academically, we do know that definitely we are in good hands as it relates to the court system. And we do hope that with his presence, we can kick up some of the cases that has been lingering for quite a number of years within the local legal system.
Most definitely. I think that more hands on deck, we would definitely hope that that would speed up that process as it pertains to our BVI court judicial system, getting those cases out of the way. There are cases there dating quite some time back, but we definitely want to welcome him to the BVI shores. Of course, he'll be working hard, but hoping that he would enjoy the BVI as much as he is working here.
Absolutely. Now, viewers, Jeffrey Epstein's lawyers, according to the U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General, helped him to abuse victims and hide his assets. Now, this is a big, big story and revelation coming out of the U.S. Virgin Islands as it relates to the Jeffrey Epstein's case, where, of course, he was being charged for human trafficking, of course, a human trafficking ring. Yes. Of many, many young girls over there in the U.S. Virgin Islands. But viewers, we are unable to get through all of the details following this, but we want to encourage you to head on over to our website, that is 284media.com, because we get into not only how they were assisting Jeffrey Epstein within his pursuit of human trafficking, but we also see that even after his death, there were drawing out monies from his estate. And so it's a really daunting situation as we continue to examine what exactly happened and who was contributing to the human trafficking ring over there in the Virgin Islands as it relates to the Jeffrey Epstein's estate. But viewers, for now, that is all the time we have. Again, check out our website, 284media.com. If you are on Facebook, as we are, of course, everyone is on Facebook, go follow us. It's 284media. And Instagram and Twitter, we are 284 BVI. As usual, it is my pleasure. I'm Javon Wilson.
And I am Kyla Kinisha Forbes. We will see you again next week as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. We are 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news, right here on 284 Media. Have a happy weekend, everybody.
And by the way, happy Valentine's.
Yes,
happy Valentine's
this Sunday.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye-bye.